In a small village nestled between towering hills and flowing rivers, lived Grandma Nku, the oldest woman in the land. She was known for her wisdom, kindness, and most especially, her magical pot of soup. People said the pot had been passed down through generations of women in her family, a gift from the spirits of the forest. This pot was no ordinary pot. It never ran out of soup, no matter how many people were fed. The soup, always bubbling with delicious aroma, could cure sickness, strengthen the weak, and even chase away sadness. Many believed that the secret ingredients were whispered to Grandma Nku by the river spirits when she was a young girl. One year, a terrible drought struck the village. Crops withered under the scorching sun, rivers dried up, and animals fled to faraway lands. People had very little to eat, and hunger spread through the land like a shadow. The villagers grew weary, and hope began to fade. Seeing her people suffer, Grandma Nku decided it was time to use her magical pot for more than just her family. She summoned the village elders and said, "Bring everyone to my house. I shall make a soup that will fill every stomach, heal every heart, and give strength to survive this drought." The elders were doubtful. "Grandma Nku, how can one pot feed the entire village?" they asked. "Trust in the magic of the forest," she replied with a twinkle in her eye. So the villagers gathered around Grandma Nku's small hut. With only a few roots, herbs, and some dried fish left from the last harvest, Grandma Nku started to prepare the soup. She stirred the pot slowly, humming an ancient song under her breath, and as she stirred, something incredible began to happen. The pot started bubbling more and more, and the aroma grew richer, filling the air with a scent so heavenly that even the birds gathered to listen. One by one, the villagers came forward with empty bowls, and one by one, their bowls were filled to the brim with delicious, hearty soup. As they ate, their strength returned, their spirits lifted, and the children began to laugh and play once more. Even the elders, who were often weak, stood tall after eating Grandma Nku's soup. But the magic didn't stop there. For days and nights, the pot kept bubbling, and anyone who was hungry could come and take as much soup as they needed. The drought still held the land in its grip, but no one in the village starved, thanks to Grandma Nku's pot. Word of her magical soup spread to nearby villages, and soon people came from far and wide, bringing gifts to Grandma Nku in exchange for just a taste of her soup. But Grandma Nku never took their gifts. She only smiled and said, "The soup is for all who need it. The spirits of the forest gave it to me to share." One day, a curious traveler asked Grandma Nku, "What is the secret to your magical soup?" She smiled and replied, "The secret is love. The spirits bless this pot, but it is the love and care I pour into every bowl that gives it power. When we share what we have, no matter how little, it becomes enough for all." From that day forward, the village never forgot the lesson of Grandma Nku's pot of soup. Even after the drought ended and the rains returned, the villagers continued to share their food and care for one another. And though Grandma Nku's magical pot eventually stopped bubbling, the magic of her kindness lived on in the hearts of the people forever. And so, the legend of Grandma Nku and her magic pot of soup was passed down through generations, a reminder that true magic lies not in the pot, but in the spirit of sharing and love.